Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Sunday, August the 12th, 2018. The tarot card for today is the Four of Wands. You know, when it comes to tarot cards, this is probably, wow, like one of the most positive in the deck, one of the most feel-good cards that there is. You know, it is definitely a welcome sight. It's a card of celebration, freedom, weddings, community. You know, it's just a really feel-good card. But let's talk about, some of these things, all right? As far as celebration goes, I mean, yeah, you could have reasons to celebrate of your own. You could be attending a wedding, or you could just be jumping up and down for joy, saying, yay, I made it past all three eclipses. And that's probably one of the biggest things, that sense that comes in having made it that far. There is definitely, if you ever pay attention, when it comes to new moons and full moons, sometimes you have a different feeling before and you have a different feeling after. And this is definitely one of those times. It's possible with this card to receive some good news, so I hope that many of you out there do. There is just such a wonderful feeling that comes with this. Sometimes I almost feel like I have nothing to say when I see this card, because it just is that kind of good vibe. I always say your vibe attracts your tribe when I see this card, because there is that sense of community, of coming together with people with like interest, that type of thing. But I really kind of also want to say, but wait, Mercury is retrograde. Now, with all of the things that are going on in the world, people everywhere, not just here in the U.S., but people everywhere, tend to exercise their right to protest. Sometimes, you wind up with opposing factions. One group comes to protest and another group shows up with opposite beliefs. It's highly likely that this will be a theme, at this point in time. What we can all do is just, hope for a peaceful outcome if anything like this is going on. But you know me, I always prefer to believe that the voice of good is louder than the voice of evil. There's also a little story that's beginning here, and I'm going to relate it in a moment to the depiction on the card. But if you listen to me on Patreon or in my members only area, where I put up much lengthier, longer range detailed tarot guidances, and the things that I talk about, it's like this new moon that just passed. There's something going on as a result of it, all right? That breakout mode that's there for you. This is talking about like the freedom part. But how do you achieve that freedom, all right? There's something coming these next months. We're looking at August, somewhere like by November, December. And when I looked at this card from the Green Witch Tarot by Carrie Leonard, I said, wow, it's time to pick the apples. Now, this is just a little side thing that many of you out there may not know, but there really is a season. So when you go to the grocery store throughout the year, just because there are apples there, it doesn't mean that they came right off the tree. So the season basically runs from now until like the end of October, all right? And that coincides with our story. That's why I'm bringing it up here, okay? Because every week, basically, a new variety of apples comes in. And, the first couple are lesser known. And then when we get, say, to like the first week in September, you start seeing some of the varieties that, you see in the store. So, where am I going with this? It's about the season. When it's time to pick the apples, think of yourself as choosing the best possible apples from the tree, okay? And what do you choose for your life? Because these next, I want to say like 3-4 months, somewhere in there, you're, getting closer to that destination. You're making the choices that put you there. This is going to be a very interesting time. I'm not going to go into it in great detail here, but I have other videos that are, coming out on Patreon, etc., that do cover this longer range. Just know that. there is a beginning of a journey in here for you. And what you choose will ultimately lead you to that happy place. So I want to thank you all very much for listening. I'll see you here again tomorrow. And as always, have a great day.